Alrighty, today's video might get me into a little bit of trouble, but I really wanted to address some thoughts I've had on a long-standing issue in the movie fandom. This was even something that came up when I was a kid in high school. There was the debates around inclusion of groups in films, specifically in regards to taking a pre-established character and changing them to represent another group. Now I'm going to try my best to not take any sides and to make this as little political as I can, as hard as that is today with how divided everything is, because this isn't a channel about getting political and angry at everyone. It's just a channel about where I like to make some fun content. One of the big issues with changing a character's race just to give more representation that I don't see a lot of people commenting on is the fact that the reason that it's so important to have representation is because it's such a core part of a lot of people and makes people as diverse as we are a lot of the times. So if you take a character from another race and change them to something else, you're changing a lot of the core aspects of that character, which is the whole reason why you want them to be representing the group of people you're putting them to stand in for. Imagine with me, now that we have sadly lost the actor for Black Panther, if they recast him and used a white person instead. That would totally take away from everything the character stands for. The whole reason I decided to do this is because I saw a clip on TikTok that reminded me of something I loved dearly from my childhood that I think we need to see more of, and that is the story of John Henry from the American Tales Disney anthology movie. To give communities like the African Americans the inclusion that they ask for and deserve, why don't we see more movies like this, where they take a story from their culture and make it into a movie, instead of just taking someone else's story, stripping away its heart, and then giving it to them like sloppy seconds. And this movie would kill today. It has so many relevant factors to it. Think about it, a former slave breaking free from his bonds of oppression to become a hardworking member of society, only to be challenged by the 1%'s technology booms to replace his job, and him fighting his literal heart out to be able to defeat it and prove that he is of great worth. That no matter what they come up with or what they've done to him, he is himself, and that makes him special. No matter how you do it. I think if you do a live action or you do more modern animation and take it from like the 10-15 minutes it is to a full hour and a half, you can do the story beautifully. You would probably have to take a lot of the runtime with the beginning portion of the short, the scene where they're showing his past with the quilt. You'd probably pick up a lot there, actually showing most of it happen, and then expand the epic climax to be even longer and more detailed. And because I know that all of these people clamoring for representation are worth it, I'm sure they all have wonderful stories in their cultures and histories that could make their way to the films like this, rather than just taking comic book characters that were written by two white men in New York and forcing them to represent them. They can have so much more in their own origins and culture. So to sum it up, I really want a John Henry movie, and if you're going to do anything, especially something like representation that is important to people, you might as well do it all the way out, not just halfway. But for now, that's all, and we'll see you later. Take care.